Civilization 7's been out for a few months now, and we're starting to learn more complex mechanics, and there's one technique that has really started to shine over the last couple of weeks, and that is resource shuffling. In this video, we are going to be talking about resource shuffling and about why you need to start doing it now if you haven't already been doing it. So let's get into it and take a look at a game that we've got here. We're playing as Himiko, we're playing as the Mayans. They've been recently nerfed, and it's not the fun Himiko, it is the, well, I shouldn't say it's not the fun Himiko, it's not the super cool Himiko that's got all those science bonuses. It's the one that doesn't. We've also got some basic mementos. I say basic, but they're the best, arguably the best mementos in the game at the moment. So what we're looking to do is secure camels and secure production resources. And as you can tell from our capital, there is not going to be any problem with finding production resources. We've got so damn many triple hives in the capital. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to save this spawn or save this start. If you want to play along, I'll leave a link to the Discord where you can come along and play with it. So let's go ahead and get ourselves in. So we've got the capital of Bark down here. We're going to be starting off with just a couple of Jaguar Slayers because we want to try and get a lot of Jaguar Slayers. These are not only are they scouts, but these units are also military units. So we really want to try and take advantage of them. So let's go in and get to it. So we've actually got 4 hides in this capital. I correct my previous record. 1, 2, 3, 4 hides. Just making sure. There might be more out here, but this is not going to be a standard rough opening. You know, we do have a rough tile in here. We've got 2 mines, so technically there is enough. Well, there's not really enough for rough, but we've almost got enough for rough. But we're not going to be doing that. We're going to instead be looking to focus on picking up hides as much as we can. It looks like we may have also spawned on the peninsula here, just judging by this little weird spawn that we've got. We've got a couple of relics up here, so let's go ahead and grab those. We want to make our way north as quickly as we possibly can. We want to make sure that we weave in any potential little searches that we can do. We've got production or we've got culture. I tell you what, I would have loved to pick this up in 4 turns, but unfortunately we can't, so we'll just take the production. Kind of useless at this point, just considering we've got no shortage of production for this game. And speaking of shortages, looks like we are indeed on a peninsula. So a bit of a weird start in the sense that this is like a super capital, but at the same time, it's a very awkward empire that we're going to be building here today. That is for sure. So let's go ahead. Have we already searched on this tile? We may have. No, we have not searched on this tile. So let's send these 2 guys out and begin making our way across so we can sample the berries or take the science. We're going to go ahead and sample the berries just because that's going to give us chiefdom, which is absolutely lovely. We'll move into mysticism and we'll go into classical republic for that extra culture. I love classical republic. We're also going to be taking the extra culture here so that we can get our mysticism a little bit faster, and we can grab a warrior or a Jaguar Slayer. We want to take the Jaguar Slayer here. I tell you what, this is a lot of Jaguar Slayers that we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Jaguar Slayers that we're going to have out today. So that is a decent amount. We've also met a city-state, Gordium. Now, one of the things that we're looking for with regard to our expansions is going to be camels. We want to try and find camels, so we're looking towards the desert, which means here down in the south, we're going to need to expand quite a ways away. Now, keep in mind, when we're expanding, with regard to camels, it's going to be far away for us to do that. So if we were to find camels that are over here, we want to settle those camels, but at the same time, we need to connect a city in here to make sure that we can connect them to the trade network. So we need to find that subsequent settle. And there's definitely something in here. We've got a lot of +2s that are in here, so we'll be able to take advantage of our science bonuses and our production bonuses. Let's talk a little bit about this growth opportunity that we've got, though, because there is an opportunity right now to go a little bit crazier with regard to our growth. So we're going to go ahead and definitely take that opportunity. We're going to expand to this position. We're going to then throw a granary down on this tile, and we're going to pop that citizen out. He's going to be leapfrogged out, and now we can throw him on this tile right here, which means we're now working 2 of these, but we don't want to be working the granary. Instead, we want to continue working the Jaguar Slayer, so we can just cancel the granary, and now we've got 15 production in the capital, and we are looking very comfortable. Now, another thing to note is this is a economic city-state, and we love economic city-states. They've got a special bonus that is hidden away inside them, where once you befriend them, what you're going to be able to do is grab a whole bunch of production. Now, we've already got a lot of production resources, but we're still going to be prioritizing that. So we're going to think about saving up our influence and looking to try and take advantage of that. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is, I think for us, normally we'd want to go into masonry just for the early monument and the early influence. It's very powerful. However, there's a part of me that's very tempted to come up into writing just because we're already building up quite a bit of culture playing as Himiko. But we'll go ahead and we'll do a masonry opening just for the moment anyway. And we're now going to look to throw down our saw pit. So we can throw the saw pit on this tile. And we're going to be growing in about 15 turns, so a decent amount. We found cotton. Cotton is also a high value early resource. It looks like that is going to be the edge of the map right there. So let's move across over in this direction. And yeah, I think one of the key things here is that we want to try and make sure that we find a good amount, a strong amount. Oh, there's Xerxes. Hello, Xerxes. We want to try and find a strong amount of camels. That's going to be the main thing, because when it comes to resource shuffling, there are two components. There's the camels, and then there is the resources themselves. And we've got no shortage of those resources. With the amount of hides that we've got in the capital, this is an incredible amount of production. So it is definitely going to be about making sure that we've got that. Now, Xerxes is spawned quite close to us. I say quite close. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tiles away. Pretty far away. But it's still, you know, we're going to be contesting expansions for him. So we want to befriend him. We've given him a friendly opening to start off with. Let's see. Let's hope that he'll take this cultural exchange. Wonderful. Not only did he accept it, but he supported it. He didn't reject it, so this is going to be great. It means extra culture for us. We're building our relationship with him as well. That's the main thing, that we're building our relationship, because we are going to be forward settling him. He's not going to be happy about it, but that is the reality of Civ 7. And there's the camels. That's exactly what we wanted to find. So now it means we may need to potentially do a double forward settle here. So that's going to be the first settle on fresh water. So let's go ahead and throw down our map pin on here. We could actually get rid of this one, and let's put the correct one. It is going to be the... it's not the palace. No, never mind. Hold on. That is a big map pin, isn't it? Oh, because we're playing the Mayans, it also gives us the adjacency bonus for that. So let's go ahead and let's put the city hall out over here. It is... I'm looking forward to when they update it to remove the yields from the city hall. So that's going to be our first one. Second one, we're probably going to have to get rid of Gordium, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because if we take a look right here... Yeah, I mean, we could settle in here... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you'd have to settle here. And this is a I mean, it's not a terrible... It's technically a canal, and it kind of, like, it would be nice, but I think this is going to be a lot better. And we want to try and get this because there's the wall here. That's the priority. So let's go ahead and let's make that a potential city as well. And we're going to bring these guys back. We're going to go take out Gordium, and we're going to go take them out right now. We're not going to wait. We would have to normally wait to take these guys out, but if we wait, that means we're going to be delaying our settle. And we don't want to delay our settle. We want to get settled immediately. We've got ourselves a nice little a nice little bonus out here. Gypsum, absolutely lovely. We love gypsum. Best resource, one of the best resources in the game, because we can move it around. It's for production, all that good stuff. And we've met a friend out here, so let's fall back. Let's bring everybody back out here. And this guy's going to continue. So we could grab a chariot, or we could move on. Now, keep in mind, chariot makes sense if we're going to war. We don't want to go to war. We want a sim city here. We want to try and build up. We want to shuffle our resources in as much as we can. It's going to take a bit of time for us to do that, but what we want to do is we want to prioritize gold early on so that we can get more cities. So let's go ahead now, and we're going to build... we're not going to do anything, actually. We'll just sleep this guy for now. And let's move everybody in here. So we want to try and get as many of these guys as we possibly can. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. This is a fourth one as well. So let's try and move them around. We'll grab a couple more settlers. And we want to settle up here as quickly as we can. Now, I don't know why it's so silly, the game. It's like, hey, yeah, you know what? Like, there is definitely a land route that is exactly these tiles that's got no rough tiles. Like, why do you do that? Just put it out here for me, please. I wish it wouldn't make those assumptions. Those assumptions can be very dangerous sometimes. So let's circle back around. Let's bring everybody back in. And we need to take out that city state. The sooner we take it out, the better. Another gypsum in here. So that's 1 gypsum, and we've also got the wool. So we could settle here for 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 on that tile. That's exactly where we want to settle. So let's go ahead and mark that right there. We also have another settle in here. We don't want to upset him too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we could do a settle out over here. That should be fine. So it's going to be a little bit... let's see. If we go here, 1, 2, 3... Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we can settle on this tile right here. So let's go ahead and settle on that tile as well. So we've got a little bit of our plan coming together, and that's 1, 2, 3. So that's fine. Those two work together. So we've managed to secure 1, 2, 3 production resources, 4, 5, 6, 7 production resources, 8 production resources, 9 production resources. We've got the first of our camels. Now, hopefully he's got camels in here. He's playing in the desert, and that's normally where you're going to be finding them. So let's go ahead and hope that he has. We're not going to play too much into our unique stuff here, just primarily because we want to try and keep this as standard as possible, right? This is a guide video that we're looking to try and take advantage of resource shuffling, and we don't want to go too much down our unique civic path because it's just important that we focus on what we've got in front of us. Now, there is a case right now to go into God of the Forest, and I think this is probably the best case you'll ever have for it, where we've got a lot of tiles that we're going to be working early on that are all going to be forest tiles. We're going to also be focusing on getting a lot of cities out, so the sooner we get this up, then the more gold we're going to be generating, and that is definitely a good thing. Let's move in here because we've got all of the things that we need. So we're not going to start looking to attack just yet. This could be a bit tough because this guy right here is going to attack us. He's going to injure us. We want to get onto this tile so that we can damage all of these as quickly as possible. The other thing is we don't want to lose our scouts. If we lose our scouts early on, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. Now, he took a lot of damage, so I think we just stay on that tile. So let's now focus this down, and we'll hold this position here. And we want to try and work Gordium down. We're also going to expand out here. The sooner we expand out here, the better, because Xerxes, has he got any settlements just yet? He hasn't got any settlements just yet. So we'll start off with 2 settlements, and then I think we can go into the altar. So let's put it down here. We're growing in another 7 turns, so keep that in mind. And let's hold this one for now. I don't know if we're going to be able to get another round of attacks off with this guy. We'll try. We might just force it and see how we go. If we lose one, we're not going to be too fussed. Let's do it. We're going to commit. Oh, we did lose him. It's painful. It's painful, but it's okay. We got him for free anyways. And it means that we can now take this out. It's going to be 5 turns before we actually get discipline through. And on top of that, you got to remember that we're going to be settling out here in the next 5 turns. So we'd have to wait for those 5 turns, and then we'd have to wait for our general to get up here. Then, ideally, you'd want to farm XP. It's just easier to get rid of it right now. So goodbye, my friend. And we can capture him for a sacrifice or grab the gold. We're going to take the extra gold. Gold is going to be our best friend when we're doing this. And once again, we've got another option for gold. So a lot of gold early on in this game, which is great. It means we're going to be able to convert our cities over sooner. And we've met somebody by the name of Ashoka. Ashoka, good to see you. Now, we've got a lot of low health units over from here. Ooh, that is an awkward little spot that he's settled in. But the good news is it doesn't affect us in any way. It does reduce our relationship, though. That is the one thing to note. Our relationship is a little bit worse off because of that. And it's only going to get worse right now because we are going to, well, let's just put it this way. There's going to be a couple more settles in here. So we may end up going to war with him. So we want to do our best to befriend him. And normally I wouldn't do this. I don't really value the local festival. But the fact is, if we send this to him, this can build up our relationship, can help us. There's also the risk that he rejects this, but we're just going to try it. And he's going to support it, which is lovely. This means that now our relationship is going to be built. Even though we don't value this happiness right now, it doesn't mean anything to us realistically. What we do value is him not going to war with us. And that's what this is doing. It's guaranteeing that, you know, realistically, he's kind of blocking us in it right now on this earth. And we need to make sure that we keep him as happy as we possibly can. So that's what this is, what we're aiming to do with this. We don't care about these resources. We care, obviously, about the gypsum. How many settlements does he have? That's his first settlement that he's putting down right here. So we're going to go and do a double settlement right next to him. It's going to make him unhappy immediately. So we're going to put that one down. And now this one will come down next turn. So let's go ahead and grow. So we probably want to end up just keeping the cotton in this city for the moment, just because we want to grow out to the camels. So we've now completed this, so we can begin bringing the general up towards this position, and we can go into the codex or the influence. Influence is really good, but we haven't met any other city-states yet, so no real point to doing it. So the codex is going to guarantee that we're able to have a little bit of an increase on our science, up to 13 science now, which is definitely welcome. So now that we've done that, we want to move into Code of Laws. That's going to unlock our trader, and that's going to be a key component to this. We need to make sure that we have got settlements that are in position that are going to be able to trade with anyone that's got camels. So we want to come up and scout and see whether he's got camels as well. So we're going to be looking to secure our own camels, but at the same time, we're also looking to take advantage of his camels. So this is probably going to make him upset with us because we're already at -2. So now what's going to happen is he's going to be even more upset with us. And there's the risk that he denounces us, but there's that risk always, okay? But the reality is we are building that relationship up with him. It's going to take some time to get there, but we need to get this city online immediately. So let's go ahead. We'll grab the wool. We'll move the wool over towards the capital. We'll keep the cotton in here just because we want this city to grow as quickly as we possibly can. And let's continue scouting north. We know that Ashoka is somewhere over here. Let's see if we can get an idea of where his borders are. And you can indeed see, it looks like we've actually got another settlement that's in here. So he could have, how many settlements does he have? He's only got the one settlement. So that's probably not his settlement. I suspect that's probably his settlement. And oh, that is very interesting. Okay, no one's begun befriending it. Okay, this is actually really good because it now means that we've got ourselves access to quite a few resources here. So let's go ahead and start moving these cities out. Can we not see? Or we can't actually see where we were going to put the cities. That's where we were going to put it. Sorry. It's interesting that you can't see the pins in the settler lands. We shouldn't have moved that guy just then. This is a good little spot that we've gotten here. Very nice little location. So the main thing is that we're just looking for those cities that may potentially have camels. That's the thing. And we can definitely trade with him if he does end up getting camels. We've also got our monument unlocked now. So let's go ahead and grow in this city. We're going to utilize a little bit of cheeky technique right here. So we've got access to build the Dusharican. Okay, so we unlocked this at a previous civic. Sorry, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to just open this up. So we unlocked this at Discipline, the Dusharican. Now, as long as you're adjacent to a city center, you can build, or rather, as long as you're adjacent to a district, you can build the Dusharican, which means that what we can do in a situation like this is we can go ahead and say, okay, Dusharican, do you mind putting yourself on this tile right here? And then we bring it up to the top, and then we just cancel it. That's going to kick the citizen out. And now what we're going to do is take that citizen and put them over here. And now all of a sudden, you've got yourself a nice little citizen that is out here doing some work on some hides. And it means that you're up to 30 production in the capital, which is a very good amount of production. So it's one of those cheeky little things that you can do. On top of that, you'll be able to add the Dusharican out here eventually once we come out here. So we'll be looking to implement that here as well. So let's go ahead and grab our free influence. Thank you very much. And we'll also think about befriending that city-state that we've got nearby. And we'll move into pottery because we need to get our library up and running. Got to be careful with these scouts, though. We don't want to lose them because there is a risk here that we do go to war, and we want to make sure that they maintain their health. So we need to consider that. And we've met another leader. It's going to be Trung Trak. Hello, Trung Trak. So we'll go ahead. We'll give her a friendly greeting. There is always a risk when you give a friendly greeting to somebody that it's going to delay you taking the city-state. And then because of that, what's going to happen is you then have to invest more influence into that city-state because someone else has gone ahead of you. So you do need to be very cautious about that, I will say right now. There's the extra camels that we were looking for. We knew that they were going to be here no matter what because there is desert. Okay, there you go. We could even look at potentially settling that. It depends on if he wants it or not. 1, 2, 3. No, he will need to settle that, and that's 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit further out, so I don't know whether or not he's actually going to settle on those or not. Now, this needs to make sure it comes in over here. So let's cancel that. It's that tile right there. So we've got our next growth opportunity. We're going to move out. Now, we could go along the land here where we're going to overbuild. We're not really going to be overbuilding this, but we will eventually get the fishing key in, so we might as well just grab it. It's going to mean that we're faster. We're sooner online, so let's also cancel these little pins in here. There we go. Pins have been cancelled. Open borders from Xerxes, absolutely. Which one? Which Xerxes is? It's the Achaemenid. Okay, so even if he goes to war, it's not a huge threat. He's not getting those extra bonuses. We need to come back for this. Just make sure we don't forget. So we've got the Achaemenid in play here, which is nice. Maybe we should probably send this guy south, or we could even look to heal these guys up just because they are getting out a little bit far here. And there is the risk. What is he going for here? He's going for... Oh, it's a Paradiser. I thought that was a world wonder. It looked like a world wonder. Now, there's absolutely a world where we go into the culture right now. However, the thing is, when we go into this culture, like first and foremost, we're not going to be able to slot it anywhere, and it's not really going to play into our bonuses. So let's go ahead and focus more on our bonuses. The fact that we've gone into a bonus with our altar that's going to be looking to generate gold, and we'll look to double down on that a little bit more. Our next settlement, I think it's on this tile. No, it's on this one right here, and apparently that is the best route to get there. Fair enough. You know what? I'm just going to let the game do its thing. Now, we do have the option to take the... science. But because no one's befriended this, I really want to befriend this ASAP. The sooner we befriend this, the better it's going to be. So I'm just going to say thank you for the +2 science, even though it's very tempting to say yes to the 6. So we're at a decent amount of population here. This is going to be our library. We know that. So let's go ahead and put our library on this tile. We can also put our blacksmith on this tile, or our barracks on this tile. Other than that, we could look to put fishing key down here. So let's go ahead and put the fishing key on that tile. And then that's our garden and our market. So that's a nice little spot. So do a little bit of base building now, because we're actually starting to think about it. Altar and sawpit are in here. From here, I don't know if there's too much more that we really can justify putting down. Like, obviously, over here, you're going to have academy. You're going to have the barracks. We could do the monument, and we could start thinking about world wonders as well. So you could put a wonder in here. That's going to be good. So maybe something like... I mean, it's going to take a while to get something out over onto this tile. So something like Temple of the Sun, as an example, could come down over here. So let's go ahead. Or is it Pyramid of the Sun, rather? Pyramid of the Sun. And then yeah, realistically, we could do like the Oracle on this tile. So that's another, we'll go for Emil Bell because you get the Diplo point, probably a little bit better. So we could do that. And then from here, I mean, that's a pretty good base that we've built out so far. And we'll put the Dura Shuriken on this tile, or Gate of All Nations. Let's put the Gate of All Nations on. Actually, no, we won't, because we want to try and get adjacencies, don't we? That's going to be a key component. So yeah, I think that's probably a good little setup that we can do. So when it comes to our monument, we want to definitely throw this bad boy down as quickly as we can. Where are we going to be picking up adjacencies for it, though? If we put the monument on this tile, then it means that we can actually take the hides right now. So let's go ahead. We'll put the monument on this tile, and then we'll grab the hides immediately, which is amazing. And let's heal this guy up next turn. She actually doubled back and picked that up. That is very, very annoying. But it was a misplay on our part, wasn't it? You know, it's one of those things. Oh, he's settling out here. Let's hope he's settling on that tile. Beautiful. So let's hope that he goes 1, 2, and then comes in for the camels. We love it when they do this because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we can definitely get to this city. We can get that trade up, which is exactly what we want to see. Now let's go ahead and befriend this city-state. 15 turns to go until that one's online. And we've got a blizzard out here, which is always a little bit scary. I tell you what, it's, I mean, do we move away from the blizzard? By the way that it was moving, it kind of looked like it was going in the, it's heading over towards the right. At least that's the way I'm thinking. Do we need to heal this guy up? I don't think we need to heal this guy up. We can probably keep you out here. I love how as soon as we say that, we immediately run into trouble. Okay, we got a flood. We got multiple things that are happening right now. So it looks like we're okay out here. So we'll be able to settle here. This shouldn't upset him. Just to confirm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Beautiful. So that's not going to upset him. And we've got Amina. Nice to meet you, Amina. We don't need to give her a friendly just because she's undoubtedly going to be very far away from us, but we'll go ahead and do that now anyway. And we'll take the culture, we'll grab the extra gold in the settlements, and we'll grab a migrant, which migrant is actually going to help us a huge amount here because we've actually just completed this, and we can now just grab the hides anyway. It means we don't even need to pop this citizen out. It's just an extra citizen that we've got sitting in here. So we'll go ahead and we'll just put this in here. We've actually got the cotton that we need to repair. So let's go ahead and repair the plantation. How long have we got? If we repair the plantation... See, this is 550. We can do this right now. We could turn this into a city. But the cotton's kind of important. So let's repair the cotton for now, just because, well, you know, you kind of need the cotton. And from here, I mean, next turn, we'll turn this into a city. So we're at turn 31. So we want to try and aim to get our cities up as quickly as possible. We want to maximize our gold. We want to get our cities online very quickly. And that's what we're aiming to do here. Now, when it comes to our settlements, we've got settlement number 4 that's going to be out here. Settlement number 5 is going to be out here. We can look to try and play probably a little bit more defensive, or less aggressively with our settlements at the moment. So let's look to grab a granary. We'll put our granary down. Where are we going to throw our granary down? Probably on a tile like this wouldn't be terrible. Even though, I guess realistically, we want to try and maximize how many forests we've got. But we've got so many forests in here. I don't think we're going to have too many troubles with that. So let's just keep it down here towards the bottom side. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably better on this tile right here. But we've already made the mistake just because we're going to need to connect out to here. Oh, that's very awkward because I've sort of jumped the gun a little bit by doing that. It's okay. We'll sort it out. Oof, tell you what, you're in a little bit of trouble over there, Amina. I think that was Amina. It could have been Trung. I'm pretty sure it was Amina though, judging by the colors. And we can go ahead now and settle on this tile. We're already befriending this city-state, so it's not going to get upset at us. So let's go ahead and do that. And we are indeed connected to the network, which is lovely. And let's go ahead and grab our next production, which is going to be the gypsum. Now, production is the king, and that's part of the reason why going for a strategy like this is incredibly powerful, because it's going to allow us, so now that we've got to population 4, let's go ahead and slot this across. Sorry, let's go ahead and turn this into a city. Okay, so turn 33, we've managed to now get this into a city. So what do we do here? Well, what we do is we move all of our production in here. We want to shuffle our production resources across. So that's going to take us from 7 production up to 13 production. And what we're able to now do, let's move that across into the capital. There we go. So what we're going to do next turn is we're going to bring the camels in, and that's going to push that even further. So here we're going to be growing, and let's just grow down probably onto this tile because it gives us a little bit of food, and we welcome food. So let's grab everything that we need. We'll grab writing. We'll grab the brickyard. Why not? We'll just throw it on that tile for the moment. And now what we can do is we can grab our production tiles, or our production buildings. So where do we want to throw down production? So there's a +2 out here, so we could work our way out towards that. That's also a nice little spot for a garden market. This is also a nice little spot right here. So let's go ahead and call that home. Well, we are... If we do that, though, we're going to be eating our tiles that we want to be keeping. So let's go ahead. We'll do it up over this way instead. So we'll continue expanding, and camels are going to be coming online any second now. So let's do it. This is the part where it really matters, because now we're going to start shuffling. So we're going to resource... Oh, sorry. We're going to take the resources from here, and we're going to put them from the capital into our new city. So we're now up to 20 production in the city. And just keep in mind that initially, if we take a look at what this is, you're talking about 8 production. And now all of a sudden you're going up to 20. So you're doing quite a bit of bonuses that you're getting in from this. And what this means is now that this city is going to start coming online sooner. It means that you can get your yields online sooner. Your production comes online sooner. You can bring your monument online sooner. Your happiness comes online sooner. Everything comes online sooner because you've got more production. And this is part of the reason why, if you're not using this technique, you need to be using this technique. Or at the very least being aware of this technique, because there are going to be games where you don't get camels. There are going to be games where you don't get gypsum, where you don't get hides, where you don't get a crazy, amazing spawn the same way that we've gotten in this game. But in the games where you don't have that, the games where you do get the good spawn, or the decent spawn, we should probably just say, those are the games where you should really be looking to try and take advantage of it. So we've got the option to trade. I think we're just going to start off with our trade route to Parser, even though we know that it doesn't have camels connected just yet. He does have a farm on this tile, so there's a good chance he may be moving out towards the camels. And if he is, that is absolutely lovely. We like that a lot. Let's start moving out our explorers across the map. We know there's another city-state in here as well, so we want to try and keep an eye out for that. And there's a lot of land up here. I tell you what, there's quite a bit that is going on, and we could start thinking about even adding in a world wonder at this point. Like, where do we realistically go from here? Can we turn pins off for a second? I know that there's a way that you can turn... Yeah, map tax. There we go. So... we could do like Dur Sharakin here, and then we could put something right there. What if we did that? And then we could put something on the coast, like we could put the amphitheater here. That's probably not terrible. The main reason I'm thinking is just because we've got all this spare production. We don't have anything for 9 turns. Like, what are we going to do for 9 turns? We might as well just make it. I'm thinking let's just go for it. It's going to take us 12 turns, it reckons, but remember, we're going to have additional resources that come back in here. That's the other thing to note. And we're going to have this citizen who's going to be working for us. Now, we could go into Jade. The only thing is, we're not going to be getting our bonuses from that. We're going to get production, we're going to get culture, but we're going to get production and culture here. But the one key difference is we're going to be getting gold on these tiles as well. So I'm very, very tempted to say, you know what, let's go ahead, let's grab those, and let's put our map tax back on. So there we go. And put our yields on as well. And we'll grab our saw pit on this tile here, and then we could probably do a monument, and then we can do a garden market on that tile right there. Okay, so now we've got the option to get our next settlement in. Gosh, I tell you what, there's a little bit of an issue out there, that is for sure. Let's scout these guys out, see where they're at. We can get rid of that map tack. Oh, I'm trying to zoom. There we go. That's the first map tack. That is the second one. So the only problem is we're at 4 out of 4 at the moment for our settlement limit. If we go 5 out of 4, that's going to put us into debt on happiness. And we already started, like, our capital started off not on freshwater, which means we're already in a bad spot. And because of that, it means that I'm very hesitant to go into that. If we take a look at our policies right now, we've only got the 2 policies. So ideally, we want to be really pushing our happiness as much as we can. And by doing this, it's going to hurt us. We don't need production at the moment. We've got these 2 production resources. We don't really need them 100% here. And because of that, I think it's probably best that we delay. We could also even look to come out over here and say, you know what, like let's that's probably not a bad idea. There's some good stuff out here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll see what we can find. And now we can also grab that monument in. So let's go ahead and grab the monument, throw it on that tile. I think that was the initial city tile for the city state. That's why it came up with that weird little UI graphical bug. And let's begin marching our way across. We've got another city state that's out here. Now, one thing to note is that with Xerxes, we're going to be touching borders with him soon. So we want to try and keep the happiness going along here. So once the trader comes through, he's going to be even happier with us because we started a trade route. But ideally, how many more camels are in here? We've got 1 set of camels, 2 sets of camels. I don't know how many more camels are in here. It doesn't really look like a lot. But honestly, 2 camels is plenty of camels. The main thing is that you want to just sort of have that baseline that you can shuffle around when it comes to nice little city-state down here. We don't have a lot of hill forts that we can really take advantage of here, though. So I will say there's not really much incentive for us to take that. The cultural one, there's a bit more. There's camels up here as well. How many tiles is this away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We want to try and get a trade outpost so that we'll be able to trade with these guys. And in fact, they're being befriended by Xerxes, which is wonderful. They will grab these resources very quickly. So we can bring these into our network as well. And it doesn't have to be this that turns into a trade outpost. Keep that in mind. It can be something else. So let's go ahead and now trade. He's going to be very happy with us. That's going to bring new resources in for us. At the moment, it's just a little bit of dates, which he's got somewhere in here. I don't actually see it. How is gold? And there's no way that Bactria claimed all of these backwards, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it did, though. I'm hoping that did we do the right trade route? Surely there was no other trade route that we could have possibly done. We were standing so close to it. All right, let's move this over to the right. Oh, we've just been settled on. We'll have to wait. Oh, we can't even get down. That's a cliff. Now we could ask for open borders, but we kind of need our influence. So let's just set up camp here for the moment. That's absolutely fine. A lot of greenish kind of flags that we're seeing in here as well. So our gypsum is now online. So we're going to move our gypsum in just because that's going to take us from 24 production to 25 production. Hides are very strong in the capital because they give 3 culture or 3 production no matter what. Thank you, Xerxes. Very, very nice for us. And now we can look to grab a altar over on this settlement here, which is only going to push us up a little bit. We could go granary or we could go for another merchant. And I think that's probably the best call. So we'll do a merchant. And you can see that with this high level of production, we've already pretty much filled out everything that we need to in here. So let's, I mean, where else could we look to try and go? Now, this could be library. We could do library here because we wanted to do gardener market there. We'll do library there. I'm just thinking, how are we going to get around to a library on this tile? Because it's going to take some time. So maybe we just go granary and then we put the altar. Well, let's do the altar first. Just because we don't really need to trade at this point. How soon are you going to be getting those camels? So he hasn't even grown out towards this. Looks like he's just gone for both of these resources for the moment. So we definitely want to trade up here. But that's going to be our main focus. We don't want to put you on alert. Sorry. Can we take that off? We want to put you to heal to max. And more camels up here to the north. Okay, things are looking a little bit dangerous for us. That's our very first bit of... That's our very first steal that we can now start doing. We don't have the influence to start stealing just yet, but keep that in mind. Here we could also look to grab the ivory, which wouldn't be terrible, but I don't mind. I mean, there's not really a chance that he settles out here. Is there even a possibility? There's not a possibility. So he can't actually take this iron. 1, 2, 3. He can take this iron. This is his capital iron. It's our capital iron. It's our iron now. Okay, so we've picked up we've got to our important point here where we're sort of getting our trade online at this point. And now we've got the option to settle out here. It's still going to be a while before we can actually do that. We'll settle out here in 7 turns. So let's hold this position for now and hope that nobody comes along and gets angry with us being here. We'll also move that in because I can see multiple enemies on the horizon. And now we can start thinking about our next city that's going to come online because Waknabal has grown. It's going to cost 750 gold. We're at 488. And the idea is that when we're SimCitying, we want to try and get that as high as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're able to continue doing this. So far, everything's going well, though. Oof, until that happened. So we're going to have to fork out again to repair this plantation. It's frustrating, but it's okay. It's all right. How are we doing on the camels? Not too bad. Doesn't look like we've got... The barracks is over here. Still hasn't expanded out to the camels. You'd see them all... They have that nice little camp around them. So, cotton, it's been put back in. That's fine for the moment. And we could definitely think about moving some resources back to the cap. Durasharakan is almost complete, so let's go ahead and get those out of here. And we'll just remove these pins. So we'll throw the library down on this tile, and then we'll throw the barracks on this tile. So that gives us a little bit of an idea. And then we could even do like a Colossus on this tile. That would actually go hard. Let's see if we can work that out. I reckon we could try and go for that. That could be very nice. All right, we want to try and find these lands because we still don't have everybody worked out roughly. All right, so you're still settled for the moment. We've got our next growth that's come through. We could definitely now think about growing onto these tiles because we've got space in the capital and we're making 11 culture anyway. So let's go ahead and we'll grab that. We're now going to be sharing borders with... Oh, we already were sharing borders. It's not a big deal. So that's a nice little bump to our culture. I think it works out to be about 2 culture, which is obviously going to be very welcome. And someone's just started trading with us. Let's have a look and see who it was. The foreign settlement passer has added camels to your trade route. You can now assign this resource to one of your settlements. So passer has connected the camels. They've just grown, as we can see, And now that means that we've got camels that we can throw into our cities. And that excites me greatly because that's exactly what this video is about. But you can see that we can't actually move it over yet. What we'll need to do is we'll need to grow one of our towns to a resource, and then we'll be able to do it. So let's go ahead and we'll try and grow out to the silk, just mainly because this settlement down here is going to grow down to this position here. And speaking of resources, we've just got a new one. It's called gemstones. And this is a resource that ideally you want to try and keep it in the capital, just because for things like gypsum, as an example, 2 production in the capital doesn't really work. 4 production to any other city, that works. You can throw that in any city and you'll be happy. Whereas here, gypsum, or rather the lapis lazuli, it gives you 4 production in the city that it's in, and that includes the capital. So you're getting your full bonus from this. If it's in the capital, you obviously get the full bonus from it everywhere. But let's go ahead and really kick this city into the next gear. We'll go ahead and we can even put, instead of putting the lapis in, let's just put the wool in. And now we're up to 30 production in this city, which means that we can actually start building world wonders in this city, which is very exciting. So let's go ahead and put down, we can throw, actually we could throw the library on this tile right here. There's a part of me that's thinking out loud right now. Maybe that's not too bad. If we put the library on this tile, like it's going to take a while for us to get out here. What do we even put out here to do that? You could put a world wonder out here. That's probably not a bad idea. You know what? Maybe we do that. What if we put Gate of All Nations on this tile right here? And then that allows us to connect to the library. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We can worry about the trader later. It's a little bit of a delay in getting the library up. Ideally, you want the library up sooner rather than later, but I think it makes some sense. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to you guys? It makes sense to me. Diplo point now coming in. We could go for influence on the palace. It wouldn't be terrible, but I think the happiness probably makes a little bit more sense here, just because we're going to have a lot of settlements. We'll go influence. We'll go influence. It took some time. We got there in the end. Okay, so now do we take the culture or do we grab the production? I think we probably want the production, just considering we are going for a world wonder. That should hopefully reduce us down. It didn't. That's okay. We're at 30 production here at the moment, so that is decent. We'll go into writing tech and look to grab. Actually, we could look for a steal right now. Who is it? Who can we steal from? Xerxes has got the highest culture. Xerxes might have a bit of trouble with us this game. Like civilizations with fewer trade routes than him, we are definitely going to be having a lot of trade routes, so he might get angry with us. Let's try and spy on Amina here. She's got the highest yields at the moment. So let's go ahead and do that. And for us, we'll now be moving into, I think realistically at this point, we're just going to go into our unique civics, just primarily because even though I mentioned earlier the fact that we're not going to do it, we want to try and steal these big techs. And so this is a really good opportunity for you to actually move into your own unique techs. And that, my friend, is a awkward little position for you to be in. So we've got 2 turns until our golden age comes through. So let's go ahead and hit that button. We'll also... Dude, there's quite a bit of camels that are on this map right now.
From this day forward.
They're just in awkward spots. So Dur Shuriken is complete. Let's go ahead. We'll grab the library, plonk that bad boy down. We've got some more world wonders that we can consider building here. Normally, you don't like to build your world wonders next to the city center, but I think in a situation like this, it does make sense. Just simply because we're going to be building a lot of our buildings out and further away from the city center. We're not going to be ringing them close around, so you can get away with doing this as long as you're able to take advantage of the adjacencies. So... yeah, it's one of those golden rules, because I remember we originally set this like golden rule that you shouldn't be building a world wonder next to your city center, but I think there can 100% be reasons to do it. We can probably look to take this right here, just because the culture is not really going to be giving us anything right now. Like Reign of Shark is going to be great, don't get me wrong, but we can 100% go for that extra production on the world wonders. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're going to heal you up out here. We're going to wait a couple turns. And now we're going to be able to settle out here. So let's go ahead and grab that settle. And we might have to look at getting a unit out here. Now, how are we doing with regard to our population? Or not our population, but our... how are we doing with regard to getting our cities online? So that's at 750. So we'll be able to do this in 2 turns. Or we could wait for it to grow in 5 turns and have a slight reduction. Because we are also building the Gate of All Nations. So ideally, we want to try and sync those up. Let's now move into Emil Bell. Grab that next Diplo point, so that's going to be 10 turns. So we're getting 2 world wonders in at this stage, and our city is under attack. So are we going to be able to hold on with our Jaguar Slayer? Probably. Let's fortify in this position. Jaguar Slayer should be okay as long as there's no ranged units. If there's a ranged unit, then it's going to be troublesome. Where is Ashoka? Now, we met Ashoka early on here. He's only got 2 settlements, interestingly. So we could look to put the Kunar down. Where, if we were going to put the Kunar, it would go on this tile right here. We'd pick up the bonuses, the adjacency. So we could do that. But I think we just go for the Emil Bell. Like, we've got the Golden Age. We might as well take advantage of it. Let's do that. Let's look to pick up our uniques here as well. We'll take the science. Thank you very much. And speaking of science, in one turn, we're going to be able to get our steals going. So we'll be looking to start stealing a little bit more. So this should be fine on the defense here. I'm not too fussed about it. So next steal. Oh, we've got... Is this a wild card? No, it's a scientific point. So our next steal, we're going to be looking to steal for science. So we're going to go for Trung Track. Thank you, Trung. And Jaguar Slayer is holding on. That's our scientific attribute point. We could grab the Codex, or we could grab 100 happiness towards the next celebration. Not that big of a deal, even though right now we're at that. But the extra 2 science that we get from the Codex, I think is quite worth it, even though we can't... Actually, we can slot it right now, so that'll give us a +3. So let's move into irrigation. That's 6 turns until we actually grab our next settlement. We can also grab another settler because we're going to be moving into our unique civic. And there's Troy, that we've now discovered, not being befriended by anybody. So let's think about befriending Troy, because we are absolutely going to welcome a scientific city-state, especially if we can get the unique placement. Oh, that's always so scary, dude. You know why it's scary, don't... Dude, okay, where did it go? Was there not a military unit on this city? Like, literally just seconds ago. Last turn. Was there not? Am I crazy? Are you a Troy? No, you're a Belgay. Okay, there's the archer. Okay, so it's spawned. Good, good, good. We want to befriend them. We want to befriend them. Okay, these guys are fine. We've grown in this city now, so now we can come out, we can grab the iron, or we could grab the ivory, but I think ivory makes the most sense. Tropical plains, desert terrain. We're building in here. We've got the grassland. So it's not really, like, this is not a marble, but it's still good. Or we could take the extra production. And the iron is nice. Let's take the iron. Why not? So now what we can do is convert this over to a city. So we'll do that shortly. Let's just grab everything first. We want to grow in all of our spaces. So we'll take this. We want to just completely block this city in. Jaguar Slayer, you're going to be fine. You just hold on, my friend. And now we're going to convert this city over. So where are we going to be putting down? I think library is going to go on this tile right here. Other than that, there's not too much in here. So now let's begin the shuffle. This is the second shuffle of the game. We start at 12.7 on the Richter scale. Not on the Richter scale, on the production scale. Or rather at 10.7. So now with the camels in, goes from 10.7, and let's raise the roof with this guy. We're up to 29, which is not too bad at all. We can now move these guys over. We could also think about, I think that's probably it. So up to 29 production is pretty damn good. We are still building the Gate of All Nations. It's still on 1 turn at the moment, so we're quite happy with that. And now we're going to start off by just building production in here. So that's going to raise our production even faster. And realistically, where do we want to go from here? I think we could look to come down. No, we want to go up because we want to build our library on this tile. And we could even look to build that as soon as possible. So let's think about doing that. Gate of All Nations now complete in our second town, so the second city. Now keep in mind, this is only possible. Turn 54, Gate of All Nations, in your second city, it's only possible because of resource shuffling. Okay, that's the whole reason we're able to get this. And this city, now that it has been left here, you can see it's got 12 production, which is not a particularly strong amount of production, but there's no reason why you can't take a little bit of production out of here and put it in over onto this town, or once we've got the gypsum online out here in a couple of turns, and we're going to be able to get that back. So it's not going to be down forever. It's not going to be out forever. Keep that in mind. So now we've got our +6 that we are able to take. So let's go ahead and grab that, and then we can look to move into something like the Kuna. We've got a couple of tiles that are down here that we can really look to try and take advantage of. So that's going to be a big factor, and we'll continue just holding the ground with that guy. And we do finally find Ashoka. So this is where I suspected that we saw him, because we kind of felt like I think there was a unit out here. That was probably why. So now we'll grab that gypsum. So gypsum is now going to go into this city. So now this city is going to look a little bit better, a little bit healthier. Means that it's now producing faster. And we want to also make sure that we get our next settler out. So let's not forget that. Let's also put our library down here. And then we could probably... Do we want to arguably move into the uniques first? No. I think we want to get these yields up first, and then we can do it. So let's also look to grab the saw pit on this tile. We want to prioritize production. And now we can do the library after that. From here, I think we want to take the ivory. Okay, there we are. That's his cap. He has not... did we forward settle him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was a forward settle. Sorry, bro. I didn't even realize. Leader agenda. What is your leader agenda? Likes the civilization with the highest happiness. Dislikes the one with the lowest happiness. Yikes. For a leader that likes to be happy, things are not going well for us, right? Ooh. Okay, that's an interesting settle right now. I'm going to say that. That is that's a different type of settle. Why though? Why would you settle there? That's a weird settle location. Is it just me, or is that like, is there something wrong with this? Like, what's wrong with this? Why here? Is it doing that thing where it's like, hey, it's like, oh, this is within 3 tiles, I like that. This is within 3 tiles, I like that. This is within 3 tiles, I like that. It's like not considering the fact that these are already within my territory. This is already within your territory. And so this is already in my territory. So the only thing is, like, you're going to be getting this. It's like, this is just a terrible settle. This is absolutely terrible. Like, how is this not fixed? This is the most basic of things. It should 100% be fixed. Anyway, I'm sure they'll fix it. They'll fix it eventually. How are we doing on we're doing all right here on our influence. We want to try and get Troy. Still, we're working towards it. And now we're back towards this settlement. So we want to try and secure this little bit of town, or this little bit of territory, which we've obviously done. And we've stole this Tactics Civic, which is absolutely lovely. We also pick up the Migrant as well. We've got 1 turn until Emil Bell comes through. We are absolutely loving life right now. And we are just shuffling every day. We are... Who was that hip-hop band from the 2000s? You guys remember? The guys that were shuffling every day. I think that was the song. Every day I do the shuffle. That was how it goes. I'm sorry. I know that's troll. Yeah, I didn't mean to trigger you guys. Every day I'm shuffling. That's what they said. Okay, we got ourselves a nice little spot here. I think this could work. Now, we do want to get the garden and market down here, but how are we going to extend this out? So even though the Kunar is looking very juicy at a +6 right here, there's a part of me that just thinks, well, just throw it on this tile because you need to get these guys connected anyway. So we'll go ahead, we'll do that, and we'll continue looking to expand out our yields. I mean, these are just some really good looking yields. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of the gold, but every little bit counts and can make a difference. We'll also take this. This is going to help us out a huge amount throughout the game. So let's do that, and we can befriend Troy right now. Thank you very much. So nice little bit of savings that we've got there. Waknaba. Let's go into the monument. There's no mountains around here. Yeah, this is all flat, which means the monument doesn't really get value. Now, we could put a world wonder here. So if we go monument there, and then we can put something on the top side so we can sort of surround them. So let's do that. And we could aim to even put something like Petra on that tile. So let's go ahead and do that because that's our 3rd city. And why not? Who's stopping us from doing that? And when it comes to our Kunar, I think we probably want to be taking this tile. We've kind of built over the top of a lot of our tiles out here, which is disappointing, but I think it is necessary, unfortunately. Let's go ahead. Do we grab the silk? We could look to grab the silk. How much are we making? That's a decent amount. And we do have space in here, so we might as well go grab that silk and bring it across. And production-wise, we're at 36 production on that city. There's a part of me that actually thinks maybe we bring the migrant up to this city. If we're going to be maximizing this city, if we're going to be putting in Petra, we want this city to grow. And it's going to take a while before it actually grows. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, he's moving up towards this top side. I think he moved up this way. Is he at war? Let's double check and see. He could be at war. No, he's not. He's neutral with absolutely everybody. Have we, please don't tell me we've lost the cotton again. Sir, we've lost the cotton again. No, we haven't. We're okay. Okay, so we're at turn 60 at the moment. And we've shuffled our way into 2 cities. We've shuffled ourselves into quite a few wonders. Speaking of cities, let's go ahead and grab that next settlement because we're about to grab our settlement cap after this in our mastery. It's all the way down the bottom, but I tell you what, it's definitely worth getting. Ooh, that's a lot of units. Good. As long as Troy, as long as you're defending yourself, I'm happy. I'm just gonna keep an eye on you, and hopefully you don't randomly disappear one night because it's happened before, and it's a sad state of affairs when it's. Ooh, that's an awkward settle. Ooh, that's not an interest. That's okay. That's okay. Doesn't deny us any resources other than potentially this one. But he's expanded down towards this way, so we're going to accept that. Do we look to secure the gypsum, or rather the jade right now? We don't really care that much about it, so why not? Why not? We don't care about it. Why not? Okay, we've now got the ability to go into +3 food on towns. I don't value that too highly here. I think the most important thing is just making sure you're transitioning your towns into cities ASAP. And speaking of which, we've now got the ability to add something to our cities, which are going to be incredible, and that is going to be our extra bonus. Oh, where did we go here? Economic point? I don't think we do economic point, do we? Yeah, it's +1 gold. +1 gold's not terrible. And it's verse, like, we go production towards buildings, which is always going to be good as well. The +1 gold's probably... Oh, I think we've got to take the scientific point here. We got to. just because of this. This is going to make, this makes our life a lot easier, because now all of a sudden we're able to produce across the empire a lot more easily. So I think after, actually even before sailing, no, we want to go into sailing right now because we're about to steal. And when we're about to steal, we want to make sure that we don't steal that. We're at 12 out of 15. Whoa, that was close. That could have been bad. We could have stolen sailing right there. Other than that, there's nothing in here that we want to steal. Nothing that we want to stop from being stolen. There's bronze working. And that would have been sailing if it wasn't for that clutch little decision. So we're very fortunate right there. I'll say that right now. Villa, we've got the option for it, though. We're going to go for the Jalor. In 2 turns, we'll have... So, do we go for the Jalor? We could go Jalor. Or we could go Villa. I think Villa probably is better, just because the sooner we get producing our influence, the sooner we can do stuff that actually matters. So let's go ahead. We're even going to grab that. We've got the barracks out here. There's a lot of good stuff out here. The sooner that we get these online, the better it's going to be. So look at all of this. It's kind of wild just how much you got to kind of move things around in here. 3 turns on that Petra. We've got another migrant that we can now add in up here. Where are we going to be taking this guy? I think you can go out onto this tile. We want to try and fill in all of these tiles that are going to be utilized by Petra in 3 turns. But this is definitely one of the, not definitely one of, it is the strongest way right now to play Civ 7. And I think that is objective. Playing around cities, playing around resource shuffling. I don't know how you possibly think that, oh, we don't have sailing. Oh, we don't have, we've got sailing in 1 turn. Cancel, you're out. Come out over this way, please, buddy. So with sailing, we should be able to get across here. And there's definitely an argument that this city's going to pick up the wool right now. So let's just focus on getting this gypsum. The sooner the gypsum's online, or the sooner the gypsum is online, the sooner we're able to start taking advantage. So now let's look. Do we go barracks for the +5? We could do that. +5 production's quite a bit. Like when we think about that, that is a huge amount of production. So let's go ahead and do that. And then from there, we'll put the villa in. And then we can finish the unique quarter. Let's do the quarter before the villa. And then we can add the fishing key in. Whoop. We'll grab the fishing key and we'll throw it down here. And we've got a couple of options with regard to World Wonders that we could look to build, though. We can always build them in another city. We could throw them in up here. We've got the Terracotta Army. It's going to take a little bit long for these guys, so I'm more tempted to just say, you know what, like, let's focus on getting the barracks up first. Even the barracks before the villa probably makes a bit more sense, just because we've only got 14 production in here, and that's going to be a big boost to production. So let's go ahead. We'll do that. And no, that's Petra. Oh, that's painful, man. That is so painful. Oh, I think we were probably at about 2 turns on Petra. Oh, he was building it in the cap. I didn't even think to check, man. Now, was there any way that we could have got that in faster? The answer is yes. If we had put... we should have put the wool for gypsum. Or we could have put the lapis in sooner. Would have it made a difference? I don't think so. We're already at 42 production. Going to 44 production isn't going to really... There's the chance that it shaves off 1 turn, but I'm pretty sure we were 2 turns on that bad boy. I don't think we were 1 turn away. Disappointing, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things that happen. It's like, you know what? Like, we're already pushing the limit as it is with this kind of, you know, strategy. So I think, you know, we're doing relatively well here. So let's go ahead. We'll continue just our theory of just pretty much just focusing on the resources that are going to be giving us this gold. And from here, we can look to go down into currency. And here we can now look to expand into organized military for that next point. So we are also going to be considering further expansion. So where do we even go with regard to expansions? We can look to come up here towards this angle. I don't think there's any more camels out here. There's still this camel tile. So 1, 2, 3. We could just come up, settle on this tile, and then just take the camels. we could do it. I've done it before. That's definitely a consideration. So we're 5 out of 6 right now, actually. So, we'll be 6 out of 6 in just a second. Give me a sec right here. Wonderful. There we go. 6 out of 6. And that is the gypsum. So now that gypsum, we can throw it into another city. We're at 837 gold here. So if we take a look, Amina's offering us some gold. The gold is actually quite tempting to take. I'll say that right now. Troy working towards it. How are we doing on our stealing, though? Now that I think about it, do we have 2 thefts to steal? We do indeed. So let's go ahead and we'll do technological advancement here. And who has got the highest culture? There's not... I mean, we could do Xerxes. The problem is, if he finds us, he will come for us, and he will harm us. And we want to avoid that. So let's do government secrets here. And then next turn, we could do the military. And then that way, we can maximize our chances for those migrants. And speaking of migrants, do we need to add these... I don't think we need to put migrants in this city anymore. Maybe we just turn the migrants around. Maybe, you know what? We can bring the migrants back into this town. There's still some good tiles in here that we can work. So let's prioritize those. And let's go ahead and Do we grab the culture? I think we grab the culture. We could do the happiness. Happiness wouldn't be terrible. The culture, I don't know if we really need the culture at this point. I think we just go the happiness. So one thing to note here, so we're going to sleep the migrant for the moment, is we need to get our next city online. And this might be the most tempting option, right? To go and take this. Okay, it's a good city. It's got production tiles and all that stuff. But it's also going to be the closest to getting into trade outpost. And we do want trade outpost because there are trade routes that... Oh, no. What happened here? This was being befriended by Xerxes. Did Amina take it out? Oh, that's really disappointing. That means that we don't really care that much about it now. We do need to be thinking about traders, though. So just keep that in the back of the head, because that's going to be quite important. So let's now go ahead and get our expansion out down here. That means we can probably convert this into our next city. It's going to take us a couple more turns. Trungtrak asking for alliance. Trungtrak, you're at war with Xerxes. That is probably one of the worst alliances that we could take right now. We could take the culture. Are we building any world wonders at the moment? I don't think so. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we'll grab the extra science on happiness buildings. And I think we can probably also afford to grab the extra culture on science buildings. Let's just double check and see how much science this is going to be pulling in for us right now. +1 science on vegetated terrain. That's actually going to be huge for us, isn't it? Because this is all vegetated terrain. We're up to 63 science right now. We should have been pulling this in a little bit earlier. So my mistake. Let's take oratory out and take the +8 science. It goes up to 69. So it's only really a +6 science. But we're going to be getting a lot of happiness buildings that are all coming through right now, which means we don't need oratory, which absolutely works perfectly fine. So let's go ahead. We'll grab the altar. We'll throw it down on a... the altar does get bonuses towards its adjacencies, or to its vegetation adjacency. So that's Bulgaria unlocked. So that's a nice little altar that we've got there. So now on this city, we could look to potentially get the Kunar in. So let's go ahead and grab that. And here we've now grown on this tile. So we go out here. We'll also improve. We actually had quite a couple of good ones. This was a mistake. We shouldn't have gone for that. That was definitely a mistake. Can we overbuild that? Can I double check and see? We can overbuild it. If we do overbuild it though, can we overbuild that? No, if we do that, then we can't connect out to here. We could just complete Bursa in here though. Wouldn't be terrible. We want to try and get our uniques in though. Okay, so now we've got the fishing key and everything down here has been set up. We've got Bursa that we can build, but we want to go for the market. We want to get our gold income online, so let's do that. And from here, we can look to move into currency. We can go for any of these, but realistically, I think probably going into engineering is going to make the most sense. But at this stage, Troy, up in 15 turns. Absolutely lovely. Let's move in and try and just block so nobody else can get in here. You can actually see that... can you defend your city center? I really wish they would defend their city center. They shouldn't just be sitting there with their city centers just ready to go for anybody. Okay, market, garden. What we want to do is we want to throw down the garden on this tile, remove that citizen, put that citizen over here. Then we want to put Bursa on this tile, bring Bursa up, cancel Bursa. Now we want to put that citizen over here. And now we want to put the market on this tile. And now we bring the market to the top, garden cancelled. And now we can build the garden market there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic stuff. That was... I think we played that perfectly just then. Okay, our yields are starting to look a little bit better at this point. We'll now throw in the garden on this tile right here. And we will look to start transitioning our next city online. So our next shuffling of resources. And this is probably where we're going to leave the video here just to demonstrate though. Let's go ahead and do it that one last time. So let's move across absolutely everybody, everything. You know, there was a part of me that was thinking, okay, let's leave the video here. But then there's a part of me that's thinking, you know what? Like, maybe let's just play this one out. I mean, we're already this far through. The playthrough is feeling pretty good. But I was coming into this thinking, okay, you know, you need to start using this technique. I wanted to keep the video short, succinct. And then there's a part of me that's just like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm having fun, man. Let's just keep playing. Let's keep doing it. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Sorry. So all the folks that are like sitting there waiting to go to the toilet, you know how you do that thing when you need to go to the toilet where you're pushing your legs together like, oh, I really gotta go, really gotta... Those guys are just like, no, don't keep playing, stop that. Okay, so I think we want to build away from these mines, mainly because these mines are going to be giving us a decent chunk of production. So how do we go about... we want to get down to here. This is going to be the best spot for us to build. That's a +2 down there. So let's go ahead. We'll start off just by building a brickyard on this tile right here. And We can't actually expand out with this. So let's just go ahead. We'll just take that culture for now. Move you back into the cap. So that's going to be our first port of call. Okay, so we've now got our next thing that we can build. Our next settler. So let's go ahead and do that. We also want to think about a merchant. Now, there is definitely a world where we try and settle this. I mean, where else are we realistically going to be settling right now? We could look to try and settle up over here. This wouldn't be terrible. We're going to be upsetting multiple people, though. If we take a look at our settling lens, there's really not many spaces for us. So probably somewhere in here, like at the end of the day, we need to be making use of the settlement limit that we've got. We don't just look at, we don't go, oh, you know, 6 settlements, that's it, and call it quits. It's like, no, we have to make use of these things that we've got. So let's go ahead and think about doing that. We'll put a couple settlers in queue here. We've got a garden that we can put down. We might as well put the garden down. Even though food is weak, at this point in the game, the extra food is definitely going to help us transition into specialists. So we want to consider that. And here we want to look to try and pick up our iron. We can look for mysticism too. Not really much that we can grab from that. Public life, probably going to make a bit more sense. So let's go into that direction. And now up towards this top side. Is there anything big in here? Not really. Let's go into the merchants. I think it's probably time for a little bit of a round of merchants. So we'll start off with that. And now we're working back towards this city. And once again, we're going to be focusing on production. So we've got the barracks here. So barracks is only going to be a +1, so we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead. We'll drop the saw pit on this tile instead. And we're just looking to complete all of our production buildings first. That's the key. Meanwhile, towards this north side, we could look for the bursar, but I think we just try and go for a merchant. I'm sorry, Xerxes, this is going to annoy you. But at the same time, we're going to be building our relationship with you. Why is he upset? Don't tell me it's like, settled too close to another civ's capital, leader agenda. Bro, don't we literally have one trader? We have a single trader out right now. Come on, that floor needs to be a little bit higher right now. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's like, it's the little details here. Oh, he's got units on the border. Units on the border. Okay, Xerxes. You're only at 35 at the moment, and you're at war with Trungtrak. You don't need to go to war with me. We're good friends. We've been buddies all game. Just because I've got a few trade routes out here doesn't mean you need to get upset. Okay? We are perfectly friendly, fun individuals. Now that's a +2, and that's a really tempting +2. So what if we put an amphitheater on this tile, but then we put the blacksmith? Where else can you go? I think we just got to take this tile. Let's just do that. Let's put it there. And our next trade, we've got some decent options here. Keep in mind, we're just looking for any settlement that's going to give us extra production or extra cap. That's the main focus is with these early traders. And I say early traders, we're at turn 52, by the way. Oh, sorry, we're at 52%. When I say early traders, you know what I mean, like early traders. Okay, so now let's get our blacksmith on this tile. Where are we putting our science buildings? I guess we can just put them up here for a +1. I'm not too fussed about them. Even just here for a +1 is fine. The main thing is production. We want production out the wazoo. That's the main thing. Then we'll go here, then here. We want altar, monument, library, monument. Can't put it down just yet. Altar, that's fine. I think ideally we want the altar a little bit sooner. That's going to be very good. So let's go ahead and grab that. He's not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy with this settlement. Is there a settlement that we can do that's not going to annoy him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's go do a settlement over here. And just remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't need to have like super good tiles or anything like that. There doesn't need to be that huge bonus that we're getting from it. The main thing is that we're looking for, this is definitely a great trait. The main thing that we're looking for is just tiles that we can put buildings on. He's already got Nalanda complete. Dude, you've been going hard this game, man. Wow, you have been going hard. Can I just say the AI looks like it's actually playing a little bit better. Have a look at this base building. You got the +2 library. I mean, its library is with the brickyard, so it's not the best, but it's still decent. Okay, but he's got the +1 adjacency here. Gets the quarter bonus. Then out here, he's got the +2 for barracks and blacksmith. Very good. And then builds the Nalanda adjacent to that. This is good base building from the AI, and like gets the +2 adjacency here. Also getting the adjacency on the altar. Built the saw pit with it. Building the amphitheater next to the. This is good base building, dude. The AI is actually really good. Wow, this is a lot better than what it was before. Wow, they've done work with this AI, man. What the hell? When did that happen? I was not expecting that. That's kind of incredible, man. It seems like a really basic thing, but I assure you it is not. It's something that's like, it's not easy to do that kind of stuff, man. Like, you really got to think about that. And the AI is obviously thinking, man. They're planning it out and going, I'm going to put a wonder here. I'm going to get a +2 adjacency. I'm not just going to slap it down anywhere. Man, hats off, dude. That's sick. I don't know who's working on AI behind the scenes, but shout out, dude. That is sick. I'm pumped, man. I'm unreasonably hyped at the AI and about the fact that it is doing some nice base building. I guess at the end of the day, I like building bases, man. What can I say? Nothing gets me off like a nicely built base, dude. What do you want from me? What do you want from me, guys? Come on. Okay, so it's interesting with Xerxes because, like, our relationship is going to improve as we're trading more with him because he gets a bonus. Everybody gets a bonus towards trade routes, right? So you started a trade route +40, okay? And that goes both ways. If he starts a trade route with us, then it's going to improve. But by the same token, it's going to be offset by his agenda. So we're able to do that, and that's now going to push us up to a little bit more friendly. We're now 50, but now his leader agenda is also going to be in play. But, oh, they've connected camels. They've connected camels, which means that we can take this out, put our camels in here, throw our gypsum, and, oh, we can get ourselves a very nice little city in here. This is starting to look a little bit better. 59 production. This is the power of the resource shuffle. If you hadn't been sold on it before, well, how can I interest you in some shuffling? Every day you should be shuffling. What were their names, dude? I can't remember exactly off the top of my head right now. LMFAO. There we go. I got it. I pulled that one from the archive. That took a while. We've got Oracle as an option. What else do we have? No options for World Wonders here. I don't think we can justify... I think we're just going to go for the culture here. Which is kind of crazy when you think about the extent that in a game like this, where we're playing a leader that gets a 40% bonus to culture, we're still not able to grab that many World Wonders. Like, how many have we actually got? We've only got 3 at this point. So we're not really that... Like, the numbers, they should be a little bit higher here. Let's go ahead and drop our amphitheater. Where are we going to put this bad boy down? This is a +5 because it completes the quarter. So we could just instead look to put the granary on there. That's probably going to be a bit of a smarter move. So let's go ahead and do that. We've lost our nameplate. That's going to be 1 turn to complete. And we've just got ourselves citizenship, which is lovely. Now, citizenship unlocked us anything. It unlocked the Wee Young Palace. Has that been completed? It hasn't been completed. See, this is one of those things where it's like, if we just waited a little bit, then we could have got the Wee Young Palace as well. So let's go ahead. We'll drop it on this tile right here, and we'll look to build in around this. This is actually quite nice. And then from here, blacksmith, amphitheater. We want the blacksmith, definitely. So let's go ahead and throw the blacksmith on here. That's a nice +3 that we're grabbing. We could do the fishing key, or we could do the oracle. So let's go. Oh, that is such a good oracle spot. Oh my lord. Just from an aesthetic perspective, dude. That is going to be the sickest oracle. Gosh, I hope we get that oracle. That's going to look so good. We probably want to scout that out a little bit more. Okay, where do we go with this migrant? Is there anywhere that we want to grow? In this city in particular, we've got these. We've got all the relevant tiles. I don't think we need to grow in this city anymore. So let's go ahead and... How long do we have? 18 turns, 16 turns, 19 turns, 9 turns on this one. There's nowhere that's really growing that crazy. So let's go ahead and just hold for the moment with our migrant. Sorry, we'll get it eventually. There we go. Sleep the migrant. Settler, you can come out over here as well. And we will find another spot. I'm probably going to go in here. But we're about to get our last settlement limit right now. So if we take a look at our settlement limits, there's no more for us to get in this game. That's it. We're maxed out. We're capped out. So from here, we don't want to go into Nalanda, though arguably we could go into Angkor Wat. But what's even left at this point? Like, realistically... There's quite a lot that's left. Angkor Wat, Colossus, Humongous Maui. Pyramid of the Sun is still available, and that's in 3 turns. Oh, we're going Pyramid of the Sun. Oh, we are 100%, dude. I don't think we'll get it. Oh, you know what? It's turn 85. We're pretty early here. I guess this is the Maya bonus, isn't it? I mean, you've still... Even though you're... Do we have any tropical? We don't have any tropical. Tropical's a little bit too far for us. So there's no point in us going into this. You do get the extra food, not a huge thing. Sanchi Stupa, do we have planes? We don't even have planes, so we could arguably get some plane. No, we can't get planes. Nope, we cannot get planes. 1, 2, 3. So that's the We could get plains over here. No, that's all desert as well. That's our closest plains tile, which we are going to be settling, but it's going to take some time. So essentially stupid doesn't make sense. I think the best bet is just going to be going up into... Let's go skills trade. Let's see if we can get Colossus. And we're actually going to take this. Just because our gold is not in the best spot. And so by doing this, it's going to guarantee that we actually... Was that Colossus? That's Colossus. Turn 86 Colossus. Fair enough. I'll let him go. Let's throw... Do we do the amphitheater on this? Because in 2 turns, we're going to have mathematics that comes through. So... The way I'm thinking about it, because we're completing world wonders in every single one of our cities, it's probably better that we try and buffer this a little bit. We've got the option now to throw down monument or end villa. I think we want to do the... I can't believe it. This got completed so damn quickly, dude. So let's do monument, and then we'll do villa. Dude, that's an impressive amount of production that's in here. I mean, we're up to 60 production, but that's just the power of the shuffle, dude. That is it. That is just incredible. Okay, let's roll over this turn. We were saving this migrant. I don't even know what for at this point. We could move him over into this city. Is there anything worth grabbing? Oh, they got the sheep in the end. They got the sheep. I wasn't paying attention. So they did end up getting that sheep over here. And we've got our trader now that comes online. So that's going to give us even more production. We'll just put it in. You can see these cities have got some really good production at this point. So, oh, that was that... What was that being completed? I can't remember. There was something good in here, though. Wee Young Palace, yeah. Yeah, we're a little bit late to Wee Young Palace, unfortunately. So it's just one of those things where it's like, Okay, so now that we've unlocked that, where do we go from here? I think, obviously, we want to try and continue pushing up our gold. The more we push up our gold, the sooner we can get more cities online. So we want to try and do that. Now let's look to go into the Pyramid of the Sun, which we had marked since the very beginning of the game, and is finally going to come online with this. Keep in mind, we don't actually have any specialists out here, so we might want to actually look to try and put something down on these tiles. There are a couple that we're working that we could justify bringing online. That's a +3 adjacency. This is going to be a +4 adjacency on this tile, and also technically provides adjacency out here as well. So that's a consideration. We could also look to get something on there, and I think the answer... Okay, so there are 7 houses. Each house has 7 cats, so 49. Each cat kills 7 mice. I'm already lost. Each mouse has eaten 7 grains of barley. Each grain would have produced 7 gallons of cereal. What is the sum of the enumerated things? I know the answer. So I'm just going to do that. Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting. We've got Troy. So that's our second city-state. So by taking this, science buildings receive 1 science for every city-state you're a suzerain of. So every science building gets 2 science. So we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, etc., across the empire. Or you could take the step pyramids, which you could put on these tiles to turn into absolute monsters. So I think we're going to take the step pyramid because we should be able to build them on quite a few tiles throughout our empire because we've got a lot of forests. So let's go ahead and grab that and hope that we can actually utilize them in a meaningful way. It's going to be a little bit slower uptick on the actual utilization of it, but I suspect it's going to be pretty damn good when it does start actually kicking. So let us continue. We've had a pretty strong SimCity game so far, just by doing this resource shuffling, and we're continuing to pump now. Let's go ahead and grab our amphitheater. I think we probably want to prioritize this over anything else. Nice little plus adjacency in here. Oracle's almost completed as well, so let's add that in. We don't want to put the salt in, and that settlement can now come down. So that's not going to upset Xerxes, but it will upset Trung Track, but we don't really care too much about upsetting Trung Track. You can see she's now going back down to normal, so we'll secure these 2 resources here and not fuss too much about that. Now our next settlement, we could even go out over here for the incense, just for the memes. Is this connected to the trade network? You're connected, aren't you? So if that's connected to the trade network, we could 100% come out here. This is so far away. That's the thing. I mean, if you look at us on the map, we're kind of a bit of an ugly civilization. Dude, Xerxes, bro, where are you settling, dude? 1, 2, 3, 4? 5 settles? And we're kind of squeezing him out a little bit here. As long as we're able to maintain trade routes with him, we'll be okay. But, I mean, you can only have up to a certain amount of trade routes. There's a lot of good resources in here. But we're going to upset him. We're going to kind of put a wedge in here. So maybe we just go for something like this and just hope that we can connect it. We can always put in another settlement down here. In fact, why don't we just put a settlement in here? We're kind of just looking at this like, oh, it's green. Or to me, this is green. I know you guys see this as blue, but I see this as green. I think I might be colorblind to an extent in that regard. But you could go here, monument on this tile. And it kind of keeps things a little bit more cohesive within the empire. We could always just bring these guys in, incorporate them. Maybe do we grow them out a bit more? Have they got resources in here that we want? They've got the marble. They've got the elephants as well. We're not going to be able to reach that. You know what? Let's promote growth for them. And let's go all the way out. Because we'll take the incense. The incense is going to be highly valuable to us the longer the game goes on. Rather than settling in here and upsetting someone. Colossus has already been taken. I was going to have a look at where we could put it down, but it's already been taken. Let's go ahead and grow, or we'll add in another tile out here. I don't even think we need specialists at this point right now. We're already committed enough. We'll grab our next set of silver. And we can start thinking about rolling into our... Well, we can't really yet. I mean, it's all about gold, right? Like, every single drop of gold that we've spent this game has been on cities. And at this point, this city is ready to absolutely just, you know, do its thing. It's finished. It's on 61 production, which is a decent amount. So realistically for us, it's just about making sure that this production can be exported into the next city. So let's go ahead and add in everything that we need out here. Academy, where are you going to be going down? Probably on this tile? No, there is a 6 in here somewhere. That one right there, we'll take. We'll do a granary here. Fishing key. Bath. Amphitheater. Hold on. Why do we have... Oh, we built them on different tiles. Where's the altar? I don't know why we built the altar on this tile. It's a bit of an awkward build right there. Amphitheater. We'll just throw you on with the altar as well. Just make sure that the granary is going down on the right tile. There we go. Cool. So once you sort of get all of those settled out, it works. Oh, we did the oracle. Oh, we did the oracle. Oh, mate. What an oracle that is right there. Dude, that looks so good. It's crazy how good that looks with the cliffs. Okay, so we've got the ability to do step pyramids as well. So we should consider that. And also Colosseum. Now, if we were going to do Colosseum, we should probably start that right now. We don't want to be waiting any longer with the Colosseum. We want to realistically be getting that done ASAP. So let's go ahead. Where are we going to add the Colosseum in? We could go right here, which pushes this up even more. That's an amphitheater. I wonder if he gets adjacency bonuses from my World Wonders. I don't know. Let's go ahead and stack. We could do this. And then that adjacency bonuses will go 1, 2 here. And then we could put something in here as well. What would we put in there? We could do the academy. I think we did the academy, right? Where's the library? There's a blacksmith library or barracks library. Where's the blacksmith? Is it? Oh, it's in the city center, isn't it? Yeah, it is too. I think that's fine. Because then we'll go for golden ages on this. So let's do academy there. And Colosseum there. Like that. And then we get the +3, technically 4 adjacencies on that. So that's going to be a welcome addition. And now we can think about our continued expansion out over here. We'll grab the silver. That's quite a bit of silver that we've actually got at the moment. A 6-1 down here. Do we not have... Oh, the blacksmith is in the city hall again. We've done this on multiple tiles, actually. That's a +2. Let's go ahead and take that. So our yields are really going to start to spike now. Pyramid of the Sun. I can't believe we got it. This is the first game in a while that I've actually got Pyramid of the Sun. It is a very strong World Wonder. It's going to give us culture on all of our quarters. So we want to try and maximize our quarters as much as possible. So let's go ahead and complete the lighthouse here. And we'll put the academy on this tile. And then we'll put the amphitheater on... Where is... Oh, it's meant to go with our arena. So we don't have to put that down just yet. Though we could technically put it in the city center. I'm not adverse to that either. So let's go ahead. We'll continue with these. Arena's going to come through shortly. Let's add in more gold. The main issue that we've got at the moment is just a lack of gold. We're not really doing too hot on gold. Yields are looking a lot better for us right now. So let's go ahead and do more steals. The more steals, the better. And we're also going to grab the... There's a part of me that thinks maybe we grab the extra codex right now. We're at 5 at the moment. Probably makes sense. The sooner we grab those, we want to try and complete those. Some nice yields that we've got in here as well. So let's complete the wheel. We want to try and generate as many or as much gold as we can just for this last little stage of the game. And that's our last settlement. So we're now at 8 out of 8 settlements here. And the big thing here is going to be about turning as many cities in as we can. So what we want to do is also get more traders out. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll stick the bath in here, and then we'll look to get more merchants in. Now, this is going to upset Xerxes immensely. So, we may potentially have to put in some defensive maneuvers. Let's just put it that way. Navigation, we'll grab it. Step pyramid is an option. We want to try and grab some merchants. We don't know what our crisis is yet, but it will be coming out shortly. I don't know why we built this market when we could have been thinking about building this one out here. A little bit of a mistake on my part. Apologies. That's disappointing because now it's like, oh, we could have this one. I think realistically at this point, like, sure, the extra food is nice, but what's more important is probably just the merchants, right? Like, we're already going to grow here. Even if we built all 3 of our food buildings, we're probably going to grow maybe 1 more time before the next age comes. Okay. 3 happiness in settlements that you didn't found, or 1 fluence in settlements that you founded. -6 happiness in settlements more than 9 tiles away from your palace. Hopefully, that doesn't hit us too hard. But we are playing with crises this game. So it's one of those things. It's probably... Is this the happiness crisis? I think so. Oh, excuse me. I just had a bit of a sneeze right then. Had to mute my microphone. And you know how sneezes are? How sometimes they come back for seconds? All right, Colosseum's online. How many does that put us at now? So in this game, we've managed to get up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 world wonders, which isn't too bad. Are we going to be able to push a 7th? I don't think we can we? I don't think there's anything that's actually left for us. Never mind. We've got Monk's Mound that's down here. How did I miss that? Okay, Monk's Mound. Let's go for it. 8 turns to go on Monk's Mound. So we'll absolutely attempt it right now. We've got the marble as well, which is going to help us out. We could even look to bring back production for this. And I think that's probably going to be the best bet. So let's go ahead. We'll put the academy in. We could also add, the lighthouse. We want to bring the lighthouse up. We care a lot more about the lighthouse than we do about anything else. And trade routes, we want to try and trade to Xerxes. Oh, Kusa. Oh, that's interesting. So now we share a border with her. Xerxes, do we have any trade that we can actually do with you? We do. Oh, we expanded out to here. Was there are additional camels somewhere, right? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. We want to do all of our trade routes should start off with Xerxes at the very least. So let's continue making sure that we've got that. We've also got the ability to take pearls here. I don't know how powerful pearls are really for us right now. Especially when you've got bonuses like this. These are really tempting to take. These kind of specialists here, especially the ones that give good production. Just because of how strong they are throughout the game. And they'll always be giving that production as long as you're able to match up those yields. Oh, we've got another trader here. So we're going to be trading to all of his cities. We'll have a trader in them. So now we can think outside the box a little bit. So let's go out over here. There's more resources, so it's going to be better for us. We can also look to start prioritizing just more and more traders in general. So here, we could move more resources back into the capital. So let's go ahead. We'll do that. That's enough. That's all we need just to sort of help it out. It's down to 4, from 5 to 4 turns now. Hopefully it doesn't get sniped out. Down to 3 turns now. And that should allow us to get our cultural golden age if we so chose to, which we would not to. Which we would not choose, let's just say that way. Let's go ahead. Oh, that is a good trade route. So we want to try and max our trade routes out as much as possible. No, our Temple of the Sun, dude. Or rather, our Monk's Mound got taken. Oh, that's so painful, dude. Angkor Wat is the last bastion of what we can go for. 5 turns. Let's see if we can actually get it. It's going to be a challenge. We're going to build step pyramids everywhere. You know what? Like, after we've gone into step pyramids, it's very clear that step pyramids probably wasn't the right choice here. The right choice was probably that other science bonus. But the step pyramids are going to last us forever. That's another way to think about it, though. So maybe, you know, there's that angle as well. Now, next turn, we're going to be able to get our next city online. So we're going to look to try and do that. Let's add in these step pyramids. So we could go for an arena. We could go for a fishing key. I think we just want to add in more step pyramids. We could also look to grab in a trade. What were we thinking of? We could also look to grab, more merchants. I think makes a lot of sense. Let's improve our trade relations. So hopefully this is going to keep him friendly a little bit longer with us. So we've got those 3 trade naval routes now, but he's going to be really upset at us. So we've got minus 55 on the leader agenda. He doesn't like us at all. He doesn't like the fact that we're trading. Okay, so next turn, we're now going to be able to get that new city online. Now, we're at 74% through the age. We've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 cities that are online. And now we're looking at expanding our next city. So we could do something like this. It's a little bit closer to home. This is likely to fall in a war if that happens, just because it's not connected to the network. So this one is a little bit more... I'm hesitant to do this one. So let's go ahead. We'll make this our new city. And now we're going to do the final shuffle of the game, the final resource shuffle. So let's go ahead. It's going to be this one down here. So let's go ahead and move everything across. That's 1 camel, 2 camels, 3 camels now in. All the resources. I didn't actually check how many resources we had at the beginning. But one of the things that we can do is we can actually start off by building a market in here. And then that increases the amount of resources that you can put in here. So that's an option for you. We've got a beautiful little market spot down here. So we're going to start off, though, just with some... We're at 37 production. So let's go ahead and push that production up. So we could look at... There's a +1 right here. So let's go ahead and grab that. We want to try and save this tile right here. So we'll put a barracks and a blacksmith on this tile here. So let's go and do that. That's actually a good garden... That's a market spot right there. So let's go ahead. Let's put that market down. We'll actually do that first, because then that allows us to put more resources in there, more production. It's basically free production. It's not really. It's coming from somewhere, but you guys get the idea. And now, finally, we'll throw another specialist on this tile right here. Couldn't, unfortunately, get any world wonders. I tell you what, we were so close on getting those Petras in, man. I was... Oh, it's disappointing. So, philosophy, 4 turns. So we'll go ahead. We'll grab amphitheater and throw the amphitheater down. Where are we going to put the amphitheater down? See, this is one of those things where it's like, you know what? Like, you kind of wish you'd left this tile now for your library and your barracks, don't you? Because, well, realistically, where else do we put it? We could just put it in the city center. I think that's probably going to be the play. Put it in the city center and just leave it in the city center. So we've got these 2 trade routes are both coming in. We've got more that we could be going for. So I think we want to be sending trade routes out further rather than in closer initially. And then we want to fill in our trade routes as the longer the age goes on. I think that's generally the idea about how you sort of min-max trade routes. Okay, next step pyramid. You're on the way. Oh, we could get the fishing key. Let's do the fishing key for the extra culture, and then we'll do step pyramid, and then we'll do another step pyramid, and we'll do that one first. Okay, there we go. All right, next trade route comes through. So now we've got a lot of resources starting to come in. Let's make sure we grow our towns rather than our cities, and we'll leave that salt there. We're not interested in slotting the salt. Okay. So, military training going to be completed. We're going to go for the culture. Do we go for the culture here? Actually, this is an interesting question. Do we go culture here, or do we go for the wonder? Because yeah, we go for the 15% to wonder. We want to try and guarantee that we get that wonder. Also going to grab the gold on the imports, and we could look for the resource capacity in cities. Wouldn't be terrible. So maybe that's a consideration that we can make. Further to that, I don't think there's anything in here really that we could justify. Even the extra happiness, which is nice, we don't really need it. That's the big thing. And the influence, I mean, our influence hasn't really popped that much off just because we're a little bit slow out of the gates. Like, obviously, no production, or a low production start, I say, as we had all these resources. It wasn't really low production. We're not going to complete that, but we will complete, this is being 1 turn. So let's go ahead. We'll put the step pyramid down. We want to try and complete the step pyramids before we age up, or before we get to the next age, because we're not going to be able to use them once we get to the next age. Well, rather, we're not going to be able to build them. We will be able to use them, though. They will carry over. They are ageless. Okay, Anchor Watt. It's time. Let's go 6 turns. We kind of want this. We kind of need these points. Do we move over our resources just to do this? We can't even move resources at the moment. It's got 60 production. Okay, it's a big risk right now that we're going to take. Take the extra culture. We'll go into citizenship too. Yeah, it's a huge risk that we're taking right now, because this is production that we could be putting elsewhere. So just keep that in mind. So let's go ahead. We'll grab the resource capacity. We can move them across right now. It's very tempting to shuffle everything out of this city, but for the moment, we'll allow it. Let's just move that across so it stops asking us. Okay, that I think is our final milestone for science. Indeed it is. The crisis is going to continue. Keep in mind, this is the happiness crisis, if I remember correctly. So we need to avoid getting unhappy settlements anywhere, or they're just going to start burning. 8, 6, 24, -2. So let's go ahead and move something happy into this town or this settlement. Indeed, it is very unhappy. What's even happening in this crisis? I don't actually know. -6 happiness in towns. That's going to be terrible. I think we could probably afford to take the happiness hit in cities. If we take a look here, -8, -6, 24. That's going to get hit hard. This is going to get hit. We can shuffle these around, though. So, we need to keep the dates in here. Is there... I think we have to go for that. We could just do the influence. The influence one's not that bad. Because the problem is, if they get unhappy, they're just going to start burning. Okay, and we want to avoid that. So let's just take the influence loss. It sucks, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know, you have to play with it with crises on, and that's what's going to happen. Could go for arena here. We could do the garden. Garden, we could get the bonus. I think we probably want to go the arena here, just because of the bonuses that it's going to give. Obviously, we're going to be getting our bonuses throughout this game. We do get the extra production towards it as well. Is that everything? I think that's everything. That's everything for him. So we'll grab the arena. Trade route. Beautiful. That's going to give us a little bit of extra flexibility now. Move the jade into here. We've got more incense. We can move the lapis over, so that's going to increase that science build as well. Okay. And so now we can look... We can even get this salt online. What's the main thing that we're looking for in here? I think that's probably the tile that we want to go for. Very nice. We've gained vision of their commanders. We get an extra migrant. We can use that in 7 turns. Or we could look to spend it somewhere else. I think we probably want to save it for the capital. It's going to make the most sense. 6 turns we've got for our future civic. We've got a +10 arena. We're not going to be putting that down, though. We probably could be putting it... No, it's not worth it. I think we just go into the merchants, right? We do get the extra production towards it, though. And it's happiness that's going to help us out. We're already very happy in here, though. It's a little bit of extra science, a little bit of extra culture. I think we just go for the merchant. I think we just go for the merchant at this point. So let's do that. Improve these trade relations. And that's the trouble that we're going to have right now, is that we are improving our trade relations, but we're not going to have the influence to do that because we're losing a lot of our influence through the crisis that we've got at the moment. And someone's unhappy. These guys right here. So let's go ahead. We'll grab an arena in here. We're not going to buy it. That is for sure. So where are we putting the arena down? We can just put it down on this tile. We don't care too much about its position. And is there anything that we can do? So let's repair it afterwards. Is there anything that we can do in the meantime to bring them out of unhappiness? So we should have the wool down here. There should be more wool down here. So there's a chance that there's a trader that's about to connect. So we don't actually have the influence for it right now, which is like the disappointing part. Do we even have any... We're not doing any spies, are we? Oh, we have the military infiltration. That's it. We only have military infiltration going, and we're only at only at +8, which is kind of wild when you think about just how much that negatively affects you. Okay, so now the Kalamuk is slowly coming online. 59 production. I say slowly. So now let's get our unique quarter in. Our unique quarter we'll put up to here, and then eventually we want to come down onto... No, we did the garden market over there, so we're not really bound to that. So we've got a lot of stuff in here. We want to try and get Monument and Villa up as well because they've got influence on them. And we want to get Academy. We want to get Altar. There's so many things that we want to get in here. You can see why, like, if we were to build another city at this point, it's like you take production out of this city and you're not able to shuffle it over. Okay, we've got ourselves a little bit of trouble. Don't worry. We will rebuild. And now can we do our improved trade relations? Not yet. It's going to be another, like, 3 turns. We probably want to take that out. That is massively problematic. Is there anywhere else that you can trade at the moment? Manefa. Okay, so we've got another trader coming through shortly. So we'll look to take advantage of that. We're at 83%. That's going to be pushed up significantly. Angkor Wat, we got it. Oh, you know what? Angkor Wat, that's what. So that is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I tell you what, this was a lobby that really enjoyed going for World Wonders. And, I mean, we were kind of pushing it to the limit early on especially. But in the end, I think we did a pretty decent job. We did a decent job to get those. We're going to improve trade relations out here. I think we're going to be quite unhappy in here. We do need to keep an eye on him, though. Let's just put it that way. Next step pyramid. We'll grab it. Here, we can look to grab the arena. Do we really want the arena? I mean, we denied the chance to do it a little bit earlier. I tell you what, sometimes that really bugs out. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. That's probably not the tile for it, though, if we're going to do it. We want to keep the arena for longer, and we're just going to end up building an observatory here. And Let's put it on the amphitheater slot. We've done a terrible job here. We've just kind of dotted everything around, but it's okay. We'll get there. Okay, unique quarter is now complete. Now we're going to one-turn everything else in here so we can get the saw pit. We're not going to do that. We're going to get the villa. So let's do that, and we'll get the monument as well. The only trouble is that down here in the tundra, it's very likely that we actually lose these, just because if a blizzard comes through, we will lose them very quickly. Here we've got Kasamubi. It is the wool. We're going to lose the wool in the next era. So let's go down here instead, and we will look to get that trade on as well. That's Future Civic coming in. We're at 94% right now. Continue the crisis. It's about to all wrap up here. Got 2 turns until we grow in this city. We could look for the arena. Arena's not really going to give us much value, though. So I think you're probably better off just doing something like an army commander here. 4 turns. That'll be something that carries over. Here, at the same time, a fishing key will carry over into the next era. So let's do that. We'll go into Future Tech, Future Civic, line them up. And now we've completed the happiness buildings in here. We can finally look to repair everything else that has been burning down. We've got the ability to do a bridge as well, which is nice. So let's go ahead and grab that. And now we've completed these 2 buildings. I tell you what, they build so damn quick, you just kind of forget. We've got a 6 and 1 that we can get over here. But we're just going to go for the 6. Because we want to try and grab as much as we can. What else can we carry with us into the next age? Pyramid. Step pyramid. Let's go ahead and do that one as well. And now our final thing, -10 happiness to your capital. That is a welcome addition. Let's just put it that way. But you can see these cities are really starting to burn here. Let's see if we can move this up along the edge as well, because that's going to be 2 traders that we've got now coming towards here. Is there another city that's potentially up here that we could look to try and find? I don't know if we're going to have the time to do it, though. With regard to specialist, that's not a bad specialist. That's not a bad specialist. Let's take that one. An extra 2 production. Definitely going to be welcome. And those towns are slowly growing up. We'll go army commander here as well. 5 turns on the army commander. We can do an army commander in this one as well. And if we can get a good number of army commanders, that'll be very nice. Throw the jade in to this city. It's going to make it a little bit better. And now we've got dyes. Is there any way that could use a bit of happiness at the moment? Maybe we could take the happiness in here. Just give it a little bit more of a buffer. And finally, our scout has come out. It's taken a while, but they've managed to secure the woodcutter on this tile. Excuse me. Do we take these double jade right now? I think we do. Let's go and grab both of these jades. Dude, they're going to be asking to join our empire so soon. Look at this. There's no way. The AI has a lot of trouble with this kind of thing. But I think that's because often they look to expand a little bit sillily. Sillily? Is that a word? Sillily? Sillily. It is now a word. They're a bit silly with their expansions. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so first one's going to come through. I don't know why my traders are saying that they can't go onto that tile. So we're at 95% right now. So let's get in there. We can look to try and come up and around as well. Wine, absolutely. We love wine. And how are we doing on bridges? Now, we could absolutely bridge these tiles up, but we're just going to lose them in the next stage anyway, so not a whole lot of point to it. Let's hold position out here with you. We've made pretty much no military. We've been sim-sitting out of our minds this game, and it's meant that we've been able to build ourselves into a pretty decent spot here. Army commander can come hop in the capital. A little bit of unhappiness reduction. And let's use that one right there. And how are we doing now on... Was there any resources in there? There had to be resources that we could do it. Okay. We will welcome the people of Bactria. Now, if I remember correctly, Bactria is this town here, which isn't bad at all. In fact, it's kind of tempting to take it right now. We're right at the end of the era. We could take this and then pretty much lose all of the bad things about it. I think we welcome them. I think we welcome them with open arms. Welcome, Bactria. It is lovely to meet you. We've unlocked a whole bunch of extra stuff because of that. Kusa in here is probably going to be asking to join us any second as well. We're at 99% now because we took this city. And realistically, we're in a good little spot here. Let's go ahead. Do we grab our last library? Well, it's probably better to grab a saw pit. That way we don't have to build it in the next age. So let's go ahead and do that. We could just build it on the city center as well. That way we get the bonus culture, and that's going to be a lifelong bonus that we get. Other than that, we're going to have to rebuild in here. We're not going to actually do that. We'll wait for the next, or the end of their era to do it. But now we're at 99%. It's about to roll over to 100. There it is. And we can see this city has now started to burn as well, just because we've obviously taken a little bit of a hit. The Age of Antiquity is ending. We got the message, and we can now actually consider. Let's go ahead now and make sure that we've spent everything and done everything. Fishing key. We might as well throw down a fishing key out here. Is there anything that we need to buy before we go? I don't think so. Overall, this has been a pretty solid SimCity game, considering the circumstances. We had a bit of a difficult spot here. Not a whole lot of land. Very much cramped in. I will say that. You know what? Our land situation wasn't that bad. It was just that Xerxes, it was a little bit, you know, it was a bit difficult out here. I think the biggest issue that we had was just we weren't generating a lot of gold. We didn't have a whole lot of trade, and we probably needed to go about doing that. I say we didn't have a lot of land, and then I looked down here on the minimap. I'm like, you know what? We had a fine amount of land. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I think like the last thing we want to do before we go is spend our points if we've got any that we can spend. So we'll go ahead and grab the +1 science in settlements for each resource assigned to them. It's going to push up our yields as well quite a bit. We're up to 281 now. And keep in mind, this is at turn 119 that we'll be looking at here. And we did find, we did actually find, we couldn't even trade to them if we wanted to. Actually, is there a fishing boat on that? No, there's not. If there was, it would be out here. Anyway, so let's go ahead and save this. So we're at save 100 and we'll turn 119. So overall, if we were to review things in this game and about how we've done with it, I'd say that I think we did pretty well. We've managed to get some decent yields by turn 119. And the longer that this game went on, the more cities we would have slowly added in. Keep in mind, this isn't a long game. This is just a standard era that we're playing with here. In the end, our age progress reached 100. We have a couple of future techs that are on the way. If we take a look at our final production numbers, you've got 57, 46, 47, 49, and 69. Nice. It's a decent amount. We've got 5 cities that are all online by this time, and it means that every single one of these has got a production queue. Every single one of them is going to be working overtime, and it wouldn't be possible for us to do this without resource shuffling. So just to close out this video, a little bit of a shorter one here, only 101 minutes. Just to close out this video, if you aren't already using resource shuffling, then you got to start using it. Because I tell you right now, it is allowing you to just really reach the next level when it comes to your SimCity. Allows you to position yourself perfectly for the exploration age. And talking about the exploration age, let's just take a look and see what we would actually do. Excuse me? Do you not want to play in the... Are we not phasing out? Are we not going into the next stage? Fair enough. It looks like we're just going to be staying in here. Okay, we'll play for a little bit longer. Oh, we'll play for a little bit longer. We'll take the happiness. Why not? We'll get rid of the commodities, and maybe we'll put in the extra culture. Probably going to mean we have to do a bit of a reshuffle here. Indeed we do. But that is absolutely welcome. Let's go ahead and put the sheep in here, and then we'll put the lapis in here. So that means that we just managed to finish a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's go ahead and we'll put the granary in. You know what? This city's probably kind of running out of tiles, so maybe it's not a good idea. Let's go put that bad boy down. And there ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Damn it. Ain't no way. So yeah, I mean, that's the last turn right here. If we take a look at the final stat line though, 126 gold per turn, 250 science, 378 culture, which has definitely just been carried by our golden age a little bit right here. Final production line, 56, 44, 47, 49, and 67. So a decent amount right there. But yeah, that's a solid little age that we've got here. Turn 120 finishing, and now we get to roll over into antiquity. That's funny how it gives you the message at 100% but doesn't roll you over. And I think that's because it pushes you to like 99.5, but it just calls it 100. So in the end, I think we hit 3233. Let's double check. 3323. Indeed we did. I just got those numbers a little bit mixed up. So it says we're on level 1. We're not on level 1. We're on level 10. Don't worry. I assure you we're on level 10. So now the question is, where do we go from here? We've got a lot of options open to us. And there's one civilization that I have not played before in the exploration age, which to be honest, I'm not going to start playing right now. Songhai. Mainly because I'm not really a fan. I've like gone in, I've looked at them, and I'm like, you know, not a huge fan of the way that this civilization really looks. We could play, I mean, we could do Bulgaria again, but when you think about our position on the south, I mean, we're definitely well positioned to take advantage of Bulgaria. I will say that right now. March Pahit would make a lot of sense as well. I could see Hawaii working. I could see Normans working. I could literally see everybody working here. Mainly, actually Ming, now that I think about it. We haven't really played Ming a whole lot. I don't know how good they are in exploration. but this could be a consideration as well. So we'll leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two, and hopefully you're going to start resource shuffling. If you haven't been, it is definitely an important mechanic to get a good grasp on. And anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.